Hey guys, good evening. Tonight we're going to be cooking with Joe. We're going to be making a homemade French vegetarian onion soup. I already have my ingredients prepared and chopped and diced up. I have about 2 medium onions or thinly sliced. I have 2-3 cloves of garlic finely chopped. I have some fresh grated Gruyere cheese. I have some sprigs of thyme that are whole and some thyme that has been taken off the sprigs. I have some Worcestershire sauce. I have some cooking sherry. I have some flour, salt, pepper, extra virgin olive oil. I have some water and some vegetable stock. I'm using my Le Creuset cast iron enamel pan to make this in. I know it's yours too. It's our cast iron pan. It's actually Joe's. I actually bought it for him. Better? So we're going to be making our soup.
It's just accurate. It's not better. It's accurate.
So we're going to be using our cast iron enamel pan. It's great to throw in the oven. It's great on the stove. It evenly heats everything, and we use it when we make this soup. I also have 4 slices of sourdough bread that we're going to pop in the oven at 450 degrees. It's been lightly olive oiled. That's going to go in for a few minutes, and it's going to go on top of our soup when we're done.
Are we doing that now?
No. Our butter is in our cast iron. It is starting to foam. To that, we're going to add our onions. We're going to add our sprigs of thyme and our garlic. So this is going to kind of hang out in here for about 6 to 8 minutes. I got my timer on so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, and those onions really sweat down and reduce, so it really doesn't look like that much after the 6 to 8 minutes.
Well, it is onion soup.
I'm just saying it's not really that much.
Okay, well, it's onion soup though, so it has to be a lot of onions because that's the base.
It's the predominant base, yes, it's just not that many. They're going to sweat down and reduce.
Right now, we're just going to try to brown this a little bit. And then we're going to end up adding some flour into the onion so that we can thicken the stock. And the reason that we're doing this before we put any liquid in is so that we can toast the flour a little, and also it prevents the flour from clumping. Alright, so now that our onions are beginning to brown a little, that's all we get of you? You're not going to come back on and like
We may.
ratchet this up? I'm on a medium-high heat. I think I'm on more of a medium heat than a medium-high heat, so maybe we'll add an extra minute to this.
Okay, yes, they're sweating down beautifully though, browning up. So what are we doing after our few minutes here? We're going to take the thyme out?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Okay.
We're going to add flour.
And why are we adding the flour?
I already said why we're adding the flour. If you didn't go downstairs, you would have heard me. So now to this, I'm going to add some flour and stir that for about a minute or so. Don't want your flour to burn, so you really have to be careful with your level of heat, and you really have to stir it continuously. So the pot is hot, since it is cast iron, so do not touch it without something. It's starting to stick to the bottom a little,
okay,
so I think we're gonna
ready for the
add
liquid?
our sherry and our Worcestershire sauce now. Oh yeah. Continuously stirring. What are you, like some superhero with your hands? Don't burn your hands.
So it's really, you do have to be careful. Harley's probably just a little bit more sensitive than my skin is, but this is cooking down beautifully. I wish you guys could smell it.
So to this, we're going to add some pepper. And we're gonna add our salt.
Delicious.
Then we're gonna take 2 cups of water and 2 containers of stock. So we have a little over 4 cups of liquid that we're gonna put into the pot now.
Now, are you removing the thyme yet?
No, love. Still not yet. Whoa.
Very nice. Okay, so we're just going to incorporate this beautifully. So after the 12 minutes, and what's the heat on for now?
Once this comes to a boil, which
Okay.
stop, can you stop stirring?
Sure.
We're gonna boil this. We're gonna bring it to a boil, then we're gonna reduce the heat, and we're gonna simmer it for 12 minutes.
Okay, and then what's going to happen next?
Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna tell them what happens next.
Okay, do you want to give them a preview?
No, why ruin it? We're bubbling up a storm, simmering on the stove here. Now we're gonna come in and we're gonna remove the sprigs of thyme. I tried to use large sprigs so it's easy to get out, but sometimes little pieces will break off. Try to get as many of the sprigs out as you possibly can. Do you want to taste?
Okay, where do you want to?
You can taste. And
beautiful,
tell me.
looks great so far. Well, it tastes good, but maybe just a little salt and pepper. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Alright, delicious. With the spoon, Bubby.
Okay.
And then what are we doing, love?
So we've toasted our sourdough bread in the oven for about 6 or 7 minutes. It's nice and toasty, like almost croutony. And we are going to, there's a sprig. Is there a sprig in there? We're gonna lay a covering of the sourdough bread on top of the soup. I did not do a good job taking the sprigs out. You probably wouldn't have liked a mouthful of that.
Okay, so it appears that we've got the rest of the sprigs out.
So now we're gonna take
just beautifully
our sourdough and we're gonna place it on top. You can overlap. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna place our cheese on top of that. Oh yeah. That's the best part. And we're gonna stick this in our oven for a few minutes until everything browns up really nicely, and then it's basically done.
Is this gonna be covered or uncovered?
Uncovered. No covering of anything is out. So we just took our pot out of the oven. It is very hot. It looks delicious. I'm gonna sprinkle some thyme over now, fresh thyme that I chopped up earlier. What do you do? You want to plate it then from the shop.
And action.
So I thank you so much for joining us cooking tonight with Joe. I'm going to start plating. I will link down below some of the ingredients and the recipe so that you can make this at home. And just remember, like, share, and subscribe. Ooh, yum. Oh, this smells delicious. Oh my gosh.